This is a true psychological pattern that destroys even the strongest minds. And it usually starts with a smile, the kind of smile that feels like sunlight after months of emotional winter. A manipulator's favorite weapon isn't cruelty, it's affection. Charm is the sugar they coat the poison with. Unlike obvious abusers who lash out and dominate, the ones who use charm as a weapon are patient, calculated. They don't conquer you with force, they win you with warmth. But instead of addressing it, they smile and say, "You're overthinking again." You always do that, questioning whether your feelings are even valid. That golden version, the one who made you feel special, invincible. But that person was never real, it was a mask. And chasing that illusion becomes the trap, because every now and then, just when you're ready to walk away, they throw you crumbs of that original charm. A soft apology, a romantic gesture, a nostalgic callback to how things used to be, and for a moment, you feel hope again. That maybe, just maybe, things can go back to the way they were. Why? Because how do you explain that someone who was once so kind, so thoughtful, so attentive, you flinch at kindness, suspecting it hides a price? That's the long-term damage. Not just heartbreak, but a cracked lens through which you now view love. It's humanity, the need to be seen, valued, loved. There's no shame in that. The shame belongs to the ones who exploit it. Watch how they handle your boundaries. Watch how they treat you when they're not trying to impress you. True connection is steady, manipulation is loud, fast, and stays kind. And bright, like a flame meant to distract while it burns. Is now making you feel like you're losing your mind? It doesn't break you down to keep you close. It doesn't start as magic and end in silence. From the outside, everything looks normal. On the inside, it's chaos. You replay conversations in your head at night, trying to figure out where you went wrong, when in fact, the game was rigged from the start. That's how it starts, with a seed of doubt planted in your mind. The very mind they once praised as brilliant. And by the time you realize what's happening, you're already hooked. They notice things others overlook, your quirks, your stories, the way you laugh when you're nervous. You begin to believe you are the problem, that maybe you expect too much. That maybe love really is supposed to hurt sometimes. It makes you believe you're soulmates, or at the very least, deeply aligned. Because the more broken you feel, the more control they gain, and control is the goal, not love. Once they reassure they've got you, when your walls are down and you're emotionally invested, the shift begins slowly, subtly. You'll notice they respond a little less. Laugh a little colder, disagree more often, but in ways that make you question yourself instead of them. They'll flood you with attention, late-night texts, surprise visits, compliments that seem to touch your very core. It's not love bombing in the obvious way, it's more refined. It's curated affection, strategically placed. They don't just want your time. They want your trust, your loyalty, your emotional currency. They listen, nod, laugh at your jokes like they're the best they've ever heard. In the beginning, it's intoxicating. Like finding someone who finally gets you, you feel seen, chosen, alive. But this isn't connection, it's a setup. This is what's called the charm trap. At first, they mirror you. Your humor, your passions, your values. It's not coincidence, it's design. But here's the catch. The charm doesn't last. It never does. You might bring up a concern, something small. Like how they interrupted you in front of friends. The manipulation begins to bend reality. You find yourself apologizing for things you didn't do, defending them to your friends. Emotionally, it feels like you're chasing a version of them that only existed in the beginning. That hope is the hook, and they pull it tight. What makes this so damaging is that it doesn't just hurt, it erodes. It wears down your self-trust. Your sense of reality, your confidence, the truth, it's not. But psychological manipulators want you to believe it is. People stuck in the charm trap often suffer in silence. And here's the hardest part. Even when you leave, you still hear their voice in your head. You still second-guess your new relationships, but awareness is power. If you recognize this pattern in someone else or in yourself, know this. It's not weakness that made you fall. So the next time someone makes you feel like the center of their universe overnight, pause, take a breath, watch for consistency. The charm trap works because it feels like love. But real love doesn't confuse you, it starts quiet. And if you're listening to this, maybe it's time to stop chasing the charm and start protecting your peace.